They all snap together just like the T-stacks. Hey guys, Brad here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DEWALT TOUGH system. As you probably all know, I am a T-stack guy, and this is the first TOUGH system I've bought. This is the 1.0, not the 2.0, which I will be getting this year, but the 1.0. So the only reason I bought this was because it was on sale and because I have plans on buying the 2.0 in the future. And we'll get into that in a bit. But I'd love to hear what you guys think of the TOUGH system, maybe versus the T-stack versus the 2.0, if you're aware of it yet. And also versus maybe the Milwaukee Packout, which is another amazing system. And I'm always battling between which system to go with, because there are some serious positives with some and big positives with the others. So it's really hard. There's no perfect system in my mind. But for now, I'm going to do a quick review on this original DEWALT 1.0 system here that I picked up at Home Depot. It was on sale. The bottom unit, this is the DWST 08250. The middle is the DWST 08203. And the top is the DWST 08130. Now, the thing I love about this system is they're just really, really strong. Okay, the plastic is really thick on them. I'll just turn it here so you actually, I'll pull this down. Okay, I'm gonna get the shot of the back of my head here, but that's okay. But actually, yeah, if you want to come in, you can see how thick this plastic is. Very strong, really well rated on the impact resistance. And the other thing that's great about these is the water resistance on them. They all snap together just like the T-stacks, okay, but with a little bit stronger clip. And I'm going to do a video just sort of comparing, I think, the T-stack to the TOUGH system and the pluses and minuses, and kind of why I've gone with the T-stack over the TOUGH system. And there's some serious reasons behind that, but that'll be in the next video. So these units, they all slide together, okay, like all these modular units do. And the other cool thing about this system is that you can buy the wall rack or van rack or whatever they're called. Actually, I've got the number here, the proper name, I should say. Yeah, van racking. It's a pretty cool system if you're not familiar with it, but I'm sure you are if you're into the stackables. So the way this works is you lift these handles up and they slide into a rack right here. So it's very easy to get your units in and out. You don't have to unstack a bunch like you do with, say, the T-stacks. You can just pull out which unit you want when you need it. So this system, I think, is one of the best, if not the best, out there for being able to stack your boxes in your shop or in your vehicle, your trailer. It's so easy. It's such a smart system, and the fact that you don't have to unstack is a huge positive. So I think that's just, DEWALT nailed that. No one touches them on that, in my opinion. So let's talk about the waterproofness of these boxes. So they've got, well, first, before we get into that, they've got these really nice latches, big heavy metal latches. Now, I haven't used these boxes before, so we'll see how they hold up. But so far, pretty impressed. And then the waterproofness, they all have this gasket in them, which seals. And they all have a water rating of, I think it's IP65. Yeah, IP65 is the rating across the board pretty much, except for the radio, which is a lower rating. I think of IP54. But yeah, pretty cool. I like how your tools can stay waterproof. And I'd love to hear from you if you've had any issues with that, because again, I haven't had this system, and I'm curious to know, if you're out in your truck and these are bouncing around. It's different from like spraying a hose on this to put versus driving around. This is banging around and it's pouring rain. I'd love to know if water gets in these things. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And then with this particular unit, you've got a couple storage bins that fit in here, and they have some little holes on the bottom for these to fit into so they don't slide around. And to me, this box is kind of like a drill box in my opinion. I would think that you would put like your screws, your fasteners here. You'd throw your drill, charger, maybe a couple batteries in here. And then on the top, these pull down, and you can put in some long bits on this side. And then on this one, this pulls down, and you can put in some short drivers or drill bits, whatever you want to put in. Maybe even small screws. So that's kind of what this is saying to me, if I was to assess what I'd use this for. Now, my opinion is these up here are really cheap. Like, I can kind of bend that back. I'm just not impressed with that. So I would expect, especially here in Canada where it gets really cold, that this over time is just going to snap. And I bet that's happened to some guys out there. The other thing too is this little nub here, which clips into this nub. I just feel like if you do that every day, 5 days a week, I don't think that's going to last. But I could be wrong, but just my experience with plastic cases, something like that just does not feel like it's going to last very long. So we'll see. I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to use this specific box for, or even really any of them. I mean, this one I kind of have an idea, and I'll get into that, but yeah, it was on sale. I think, what did I pay? This one, it says right on it, this one was 49 bucks, and it was normally 79. This one was 109, normally 169. And I think this one was something like 39, regular 69 or 59, something like that. They were a really good deal. So that's the first case. Second box, just pull this down. These latches, because they're brand new, I'm finding they're really hard to unlatch. And one thing I did notice is that these latches say DEWALT on them. Okay, and this bottom one doesn't. And this bottom one is the hardest one to unhook. They're all built the same, but I've noticed this one's really hard to unlatch. And I don't know if this is maybe made somewhere else or it's just a replacement part, but it got me thinking. But yeah, the top or the middle unit here, this has an air valve on it. Now, obviously if it's raining, you want to keep it closed. And I'm thinking it probably creates some suction, especially if this is out in the heat. It warms up in there. You probably have to release this to let the air out and before you can open this, because I would assume that when this is closed, this would create quite a lot of suction. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. I think that's what it's for. If you know, please leave a comment down below so my viewers can see that. But that's my guess, because of the size of the box, the type of the plastic, the fact that it is got this IP65 rated weatherproofing in it. I think that when you close it and you compress it down, kind of like freezer, if you open and close a freezer a bunch of times, maybe like the second or third time, it creates that super vacuum. Well, I'm pretty sure what this is for. So you just release the air valve so you can get into it, right? Kind of like Tupperware. So this box, you know, super handy, good size, comes with a tray. I'm not big on trays. It's just something that I never use, and I think it's because, for me, if the boxes are getting rattled around, the stuff in the tray just, you know, yard sales everywhere. So I usually toss the trays. I don't really have a use for them. I have not used a single tray in any of my T-Stack boxes. So yeah, I'll probably just get rid of this tray, but we'll see. This one's a lot deeper than the others, so I'll play with it. But yeah, great box. I'll take a measurement of it for you if you're curious here. This is coming in at about 9 inches deep and 18 3/4 by, you know, if I go to here, that says 10 3/4, but to these nubs, we're looking at 9 3/4. So it's a decent sized box. You know, you could probably chuck a skill saw in here. I'll do that right now. You know, you could just throw a skill saw in here. No problem. Nails, screws, recip saws, pretty much anything you want you could chuck in here. So that's pretty sweet. And then let's get into, I'll measure this one too, seeing how we're measuring things. This guy is about 4 inches deep. Inside is the same. It'll be, you know, 19 1/4-ish, and it's about, I don't know, we'll call it 10 1/4 on the small side. If you go to the outside part here, or it's a little bit bigger, or more like 11. So it depends on what you want to put in this. I really like these latches. I've noticed with the T-Stacks, the latches are failing a little bit. They kind of come off sometimes, so something to be aware of. So these two boxes work on that racking system. They both have the ability to rack on the sides. Okay. Now this unit, this does not have an air valve on it. It's pretty big. This can be racked, but from the front. Okay, you can rack it on the front side, not the back, which makes sense because you got the wheel and all this handle and stuff, so it just wouldn't fit. But you could rack it if you wanted to. Then on the inside, this has a tray as well, and then it's just a big open compartment. So very simple, again, IP65 rated, and it's just a nice box. It closes well. I like how the plastic doesn't twist. And the mechanism itself, you just pull this and then this will extend, okay? So it's right here on the side. Just pull here. So we'll see how this holds up. This is all plastic. I think that might be metal, but this stuff in here is plastic. All right. So there's only 2 adjustments, up and then down, and that's it. The main reason I got this stuff, like I was saying before, was because of the 2.0 that's coming out. It is interchangeable with these boxes. I've done some research on it, and you could take a 2.0 box, like one of these, if it's a 2.0, click it in here, and then you can latch everything in if you just bought more 2.0 boxes. And that's why I wanted to buy this unit. Number one, it's on sale. I think I'm going to get into the 2.0s because I really like their screw boxes that they're coming out with, how they clip in. It's very similar to the Milwaukee pack-out system. And I'm all about having, you know, accessibility for all my screws and just being super organized. So that's why I jumped on this, because it was on sale. It was basically $100 off in total for the whole 3 units. The other reason I got this is because the waterproofness of this and the fact that it's summertime and I'm looking at you know, doing a lot of fences, doing a lot of decks, and I'm not needing my cargo trailers. So, you know, I just pull my dump trailer because that's, you know, we're usually digging dirt and bringing in, you know, lumber and all that. And so I don't need all my tools. I just need a decent sized box to carry skill saw, drill, blah, blah, blah. And these 3 units here can do that. And then paired with my T-stacks, I'm pretty much set. So that's sort of my thinking behind justifying purchasing these 3 items for $200. But yeah, we'll see. I'm going to get into the 2.0, and I'm pretty stoked to kind of review that and see how well it works with the 1.0, with these clicks, with these clasps, sorry. And yes, kind of see how that goes. I'll lower it down here and we'll just give it a little roll on the floor so you can kind of see. One thing I wish that, see how hard that is? That is crazy tight. I wish that the DEWALT had maybe another clip system or something that you could buy so that I could mount my T-stacks onto these as well. Just something interchangeable. Here's a T-stack right here. Now I know I said I'd save this for the next video, but we'll just touch on it here. Like, these don't fit anywhere, but if they made a plate, and I probably could print something like this or have it custom made, but a plate, a very thin plate that clipped into here and then had clips for the T-stack. So then you could have maybe one tough system box on the bottom, and then I could rack my T-stacks on top. That's pretty simple, you know. I think anybody who's got some metal fabrication and maybe a 3D printer could probably bang something like this out. I've been thinking about taking a lid, cutting it, and fusing that to a bottom and screwing that onto maybe a lid of a tough system so that I can just allow myself to rack my T-stacks. I'm not sure. Otherwise, maybe I'll talk to a fabricator and make something up, but it's just an idea I'm playing with. And I'm just really shocked that DEWALT isn't trying to make their stuff more interchangeable, because price point wise, DEWALT's got it perfect. And their T-stack system, I think, is one of the best. And it would just be so much better if you could clip them into this, and it's just an easy solve. Just have a plate, boom, done. Now, one other thing. Oh yeah, I was going to show you how to roll this. So you just slide it up and roll it around. So it's a really nice cart. This just feels very strong. I don't feel like I'm going to break this thing. So it's pretty sweet to have. On the back here, if you get the other cart that's more like a dolly, it has a rod on the back that turns and will lock into these other tough system boxes. Not the bottom one, because that's its own cart, but these, if you put them on that other rack, it'll lock if you want it to. But in the meantime, you can put padlocks on the front if you really want. I really don't see the point. I mean, you just cut the plastic if you want in there, so it's not really going to do anything. And I don't think anybody's leaving their boxes laying around anyhow. Now, one other cool thing that I've never been able to do, and I'm super stoked to be able to do this, is to take my charging station, and I can finally mount it onto a box just like that, and away I go. And then I could make this maybe into a battery box, which is what I was thinking of. These are so stiff. Oh, rip a nail. But yeah, I could make this into a battery box. Boom. Look at that. Pretty sweet. Never been able to do that before with the T-stack system. It's another reason why I think they should make some plate that maybe is interchangeable so that you could go from T-stack to tough. Like if they just had an adapter that you could get for this charging platform. I guarantee you, DEWALT, I'm talking to DEWALT here, I am guaranteeing you that people would buy it. If I could mount this onto my T-stack, you know how great that would be? It would be so great. But you guys haven't done it, so get with it. The other thing is the power station, okay? This can mount up here, which I think is absolutely awesome. Never been able to do that before. I can put batteries in here, and away I go. Again, if I could hook this up to the T-stacks, it would be money. And I say this because I own like 30 or 40 T-stacks, so I'm super invested into it. And I know a lot of guys who are as well, and they would love to have the ability to, you know, to have a rolling cart with their charger hooked to it. Kind of like how you have the T-stack vacuum. That base, the vacuum itself is larger than the T-stacks, but the base is tapered down and it fits on the T-stacks. And you guys should probably make it so it can fit on the Tough system too. These are just my thoughts. All right, so yeah, I'm just super stoked to be able to mount my battery charger to a box system to bring it all in. Right now, this is my battery box that I've been using, which I'm really liking. My sort of method is I keep all my charged batteries facing up, and when I'm done with them, if they're out of charge, I just face them down. So when I come home, I just pull all the batteries out and charge the ones that are facing down. So it's just a little tip that I share with you guys. But yeah, I'm always using T-stacks, so I can't quite switch over to the Tough system because I only have 3 boxes. But I really like this box. So guys, I would love to hear some comments because I know there's so much talk going on right now about which system to get. Tough system 2.0, T-stack, the Milwaukee Packout, the Sustainer, Bosch has their own, Rigid, then you've got Craftsman, which is basically T-stack. I mean, it's just everybody's got their own Packout system basically. So yeah, love to hear from you. Which ones do you recommend? What do you like? Because as you can tell, I'm in a DEWALT, and not sponsored or anything, just I really like DEWALT. So yeah, leave some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notify bell, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Till next time, keep on crushing it. We'll catch you later.